From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
On today's episode, the Ticats announced they've re-signed Cedric Wilcox, and David Beard joins the show to discuss this past season with the Cats, gearing up for Christmas with the fam, and more. It's Thursday, December 21st, 2023, and you're listening to Ticats Today. The countdown continues, only 4 days until Christmas, but the Cats, they were working, announcing that defensive end Cedric Wilcox has re-signed. Wilcox dressed in one game for the Cats last year and is looking to make that jump on the Ticats defense for 2024. Time to bring on a guy on the other side of the ball, Ticats center, on that O-line, David Beard. David, how's the prep for the holidays going? The kids must be getting pretty excited for the big man to bring some presents.
Yeah, no, things are going good. We're starting to get settled here back in Edmonton as a family. The off season, so life is a little bit crazy. We got lots of stuff to unpack yet, and lots of kind of events on the go. Lots of family to see. I know the grandmas have been looking forward to see the boys and Claire, and so yeah, it's been good though.
What are the plans for the holiday season? What do you got coming up?
It's just a bunch of family time. Trying to lay low. Get some alternate activities in, a little bit of pond hockey, a little bit of basketball, that kind of stuff. Take it easy. Get some of the quality family time in. So there's a lot of draws on your relationship during the football season. So it's good to kind of put a drop back in the bucket for the rest of the family. So
what's the weather like up in Alberta? Can you skate on the ponds out there? Or you got a little bit of snow? Because we have none here in Hamilton right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been slim for snow, but the lakes and the ponds are frozen for sure. The rivers are freezing up, so they're kind of working their way. But it's still been pretty mild. I will say that this year's definitely not been as cold as or as blustery as usual. So,
what are the kids asking from Santa this year for Christmas? Anything special?
Lego,
Yeah.
Lego. They've been loving it. So, Santa may or may not be getting some Lego delivered here. So.
Yeah, hopefully he's listening to this podcast and then we can put the word out there for him. I want to talk a little bit about the new coach, Scott Milanovich, a guy you worked with for half the year last season. But what can you say about him coming in and what he demands from you on that O-line?
Yeah, I mean, I love Scott. It was a real treat to work with him last year. We really enjoyed having him, and I'm sure he would say that the same. That it was a quick and swift transition to kind of get into that OC role last year. And hats off to him. He did a great job. And we, as a group, the offensive line, we really enjoyed working with him as well. He's really, really detailed. And that's something that's obviously a really important aspect in particular with offensive line. So the detail was great and, brought some fire and fervor, and it was awesome to work with. So I'm looking forward to getting a full year with him, and he'll be now at the helm there. So that'll be even cooler. So.
Does his experience really show when you're talking to him? Can you really tell that he's been a guy who's been around the game for as long as he has been and have been as successful as he's been as well?
Absolutely. I mean, the confidence and the lack of nerves is very, very clear. He's right there in it. He knows exactly what he's trying to get out of us, exactly what the objective is, communicates that clearly, and then kind of moves on. So, there's no secret. He's been in the game for a long time.
Another guy who's been around the game for a long time is Coach Gibby. What can you say about him and working around Gibby?
Oh, Gibby's great. I've had a ongoing great relationship with Gibby. Over the years of working with him, it's been great to kind of understand the way he communicates and the things that he's trying to get out of us as a group too. So to have somebody like Gibby taking care of the offensive line is a big deal. He back to the detail thing. He brings a lot of detail in terms of his preparation as well. There's no stone that kind of gets unturned, and he's a great asset. Somebody who the group respects and is willing to work hard for. So he's a great asset to the club as well.
There's going to be a lot of familiar faces around you again next season. We have Joel Figueroa coming back, Brandon Revenberg re-signed, Brandon Kemp. The list goes on. But how important is it to get a lot of those guys around you that you've been familiar with the last year and a bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Continuity is the best. It's something that every team struggles with, trying to maintain that continuity, and that's just the nature of the game. And there's a turnover, and as guys move on from places, it's just the nature of the beast. But if you can manage to keep some continuity, it pays off dividends to the group. So whether that's the whole entire team or individual units, for our group, it's awesome. The communication is has often been touted as verbal and nonverbal, and to have that nonverbal communication that has to be developed with continuity, and that's a really big deal. And to understand the system together and work it out and understand how each other thinks is a really big deal. And if we can manage to get as much continuity as possible, it's going to pay off. So
one guy that a lot of people talk about as being Mr. Consistent is Brandon Revenberg, but I would say you're right there with Rev in that class. You're a consistent guy. You play pretty much every game. What do you do to keep your body right during the season and being at such a difficult position to stay healthy at?
Yeah, well, Boomer, our strength coach, he really looks after us. He's done spent a lot of time and research into understanding what the requirements are for professional athletes, and spends the time looking at our group as well. He gets us ready in terms of the strength side of things. He's got a great program, very detailed program that keeps us on our feet, keeps us out of the training room as much as possible. And then hats off to our trainers too. Claire and her staff has been monumental. I think of all the time that we spend in there to be proactive about staying in front of injuries and that kind of stuff is a really big deal. And so during the season, it's sleep, nutrition, training room, and weight room. So those are the four kind of components that keep us on the field and off the bench. So
the last week and a half I've spoken to, it seems like so many O linemen. It's just been offensive lineman after offensive lineman. And the one conversation we've been having is how close you guys are off the field and almost that brotherly love you guys have for each other. But what do you see with that and being around those guys, not only during practice and all that, but spending that time with them off the field as well?
Oh yeah, we spend all kinds of time together. It's one of the benefits of a group like ours is everyone's kind of in it. We all got a great feel for the goals and objectives of the group, and we're all bought in, and that goes a long way. So it's always a treat to go into work and see the guys that you're going to battle with, and you love them. So it's great that way. It's a great group. So
what can you say about the personalities? I mean, there's so many funny guys in that group, but what can you say about how you guys kind of all bounce off each other and your personalities all kind of click?
Yeah, it's great. There's I guess the way I'll put it is we know exactly when it's time to buckle down and get serious, and exactly when it's time to get a little silly and have some fun too. So no, it's a great group. Rev is hilarious, and we get a great laugh out of Rev, and at the same time, somebody who we get a lot of laughs out of is one of our great leaders of our group. So
yeah,
it's tons of fun. We spend so much time together, and it's a great time.
This off season coming up, David, what do you have planned and training wise and getting prepared for 2024?
Yeah, well, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm sticking to the same kind of routine. I'm working on electrical apprenticeship for a few hours a day, doing that, and then I'll be training as well. So
nice.
Between apprenticeship, training, and family time, it's going to eat up a lot of my day, and the rest of it's just going to be kind of prepping and already thinking about getting back to Hamilton and what's going to take all the logistics there. So it's pretty simple. Status quo. We're just training, working out, and getting back to Hamilton.
One guy I wanted to ask you about from out west, he had his first season, a young rookie. He is Dayton Black. I know he's from Winnipeg, but what can you say about him and kind of seeing his growth and learning the league on that O-line throughout the year as it went on?
Yeah, the cool thing about Dayton was I've obviously had a number of rookies over the years, and watching rookies get a grip on the game is very, very interesting, fascinating, especially remembering my own experience of trying to figure out how the heck does this professional game work.
Yeah.
And the system stuff that's involved with that it's funny because you think back to those memories and it's like, oh yeah, those are difficult times when you're trying to get a hold of the system. You get the pressures of being a rookie and wanting to get the job done and not having experience to back you up with it. So hats off to Dayton as well. He did a great job this year. You could really see him come into his own and find the role and know the role and execute the role that he had. So he did a great job this year. A great group guy too. He's in there trying to do the best he can, and he did a lot of really good things this year. So we love him, and we're excited to see how things go next year for him too.
The run game this year went to another level with James Butler, and you guys are a big part in why he was able to be so successful, and he mentions that. But what was it like playing in front of a guy like him and a guy who can run, block, and catch and pretty much do it all as a running back?
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. I was going to say, like, James makes our job easy too. Like James is great because he's so versatile, and to have a back like that behind you keeps the defense guessing, and then you don't get defenses, front sevens anyways, they know exactly what James is going to do or what the quarterback's going to do because they have to protect it all. So it's a real treat playing in front of James. He's a real great football player, great dude, real incredible human being. Love him, and he's an all-star. Seriously, he's an absolute all-star. So he's a very talented back.
Fun guy to watch. That season last year, David, the first half obviously didn't start the way you guys were looking for it to, but that second half, things started to click. What was it that you saw that made this team start to be successful and push towards that playoff spot in the second half there?
Yeah, well, I think the $1 million question is trying to find that chemistry and put your finger on it. And I think we found it. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know what exact thing kind of put us over the edge that way in terms of finding a little bit more success in the field. But chemistry is definitely the one. We kind of started gelling as a group and kind of trying to stay out of our own way. I know at the beginning of the year we're getting in our own way with assignment stuff, penalties, this, that, and the other thing. But we kind of all decided as a group, maybe not verbally, but we all kind of decided and said, hey, we got to make sure that we're assignment sound and doing exactly what we need to do to be able to get the system going. So, we did find some success. It wasn't enough, but we were proud of the good things that we did do. So,
looking ahead to 2024, what should the message be around that room, and what do you think you guys should look at as a goal for 2024 here with the Ticats?
Well, speaking off the tip of my tongue here, I would just say stay in top gear. Like we were rolling towards the end of the year. We still had some things to fix, but I think going into this year mentally, I'm going to be thinking about taking off of where we left off. I don't want to be having to go back to square one and whatever. Like Scott came in halfway through the year, introduced a lot of new system stuff and how we operate, and that was great. So now I kind of want to just pile on, stack on it. I don't want to go back and reinvent the wheel or, that kind of stuff. I just want to kind of get going full speed ahead right out of camp gates, and emphasizing being available and being healthy. Like if everyone can show up in shape and ready to go and we'll be healthy, then that's a great thing too. So just ready to rock for the spring.
Well, David, I appreciate you coming on, man. I hope you have a great holiday season. You and the fam get some presents. Santa comes to visit, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 2024 and back at training camp.
Thanks, man. Take care.